Folks, I love movies with absurd premises, ones that are just so over the top and ridiculous or unbelievable. You're just like, what am I even watching? Very specifically, Mannequin, a screwball love story, The Washington Post. A charming romantic comedy starring Andrew McCarthy, Freddie Pink, and Kim Cattrall, Sex and the City. Miss Sash Taylor, Designing Women, Stella Getty, The Golden Girls, and James Spader, Stargate. Mannequin is more than the sum of his fiberglass body parts. It's all heart. Jonathan Switcher McCarthy has certainly been living up to his name, a frustrated artist. He switches from one dead-end job to another, never managing to hold on to any of them. But all that changes when a mannequin he created for a department store window magically comes to life. Gorgeous and statuesque, the fiberglass femme fatale, Cottrell, helps Jonathan turn his career around, inspiring him to be the best window dresser in town. Seriously. But she soon discovered that the real world isn't so easy, especially when they run into competitors who want to put them out of business for good. It's a rom-com, romantic comedy, not a fantasy, and technically making it kind of historical because she does start off as a princess in Egypt. And I'm like, okay, so now we're suddenly getting some archaeology going on in here. Very interesting. So, I'm watching this, so I'm like, how absurd can we get? Well, the fact that she can transform into a mannequin at will and even convince the switcher himself to avoid all the dead-end jobs. At first he's like, works for a pizzeria, works for a mannequin company, and then somehow manages to land a job at a department store. And then he starts creating all of these amazing mannequins with great clothes and stuff like that, probably for like Saks or Lord and Taylor or whatever. Name of the company is there. But you know what? As unbelievable as it is, I enjoyed and I laughed at this movie along with this movie for its absurdity. It is the most asinine plot, but there are things that make it up. The performances. I mean, we have James Spader playing who works in cahoots with the CW, whatever his name is, a security guard. It's like Spader's got the douchebag haircut, and we have the security guard who takes his job too seriously, very seriously. Going around pursuing and chasing him. Has a dog that's named Rambo. You're wondering why? Well, he draws first blood. The dog, you just love the dog. It's just the way how they bumble around, going, obviously chasing him, looking at the dog there. Everything just works. It's like I just like the way how they have good chemistry together. Bouncing off their conversations and everything else. I'm like, yes. And eventually, he gets a bigger dog named Terminator. A fucking German Shepherd. So freaking amazing. And then we have the Illustria, which is the competitor where Andrew's ex is also trying to work with some of the other people there. And all the while, we just got all this flurry of trying to get him to work there, but he's got his heart set on everything else. So, it's all the while he's like bored, like he's got the artistry side going on. It's like saying, hey, come work for the corporate side of art, where you'll have to follow based upon our logistics and our style of what we prefer versus your individuality. That's one of the central themes going on here. So all the while he's working with the with Cottrell, and we do get to see some very nice costumes and everything. I'm thinking, oh, lucky dog. And of course, just my surprise was Estelle Getty, Sophia from the Golden Girls. Picture it, in a major shopping center in New York in the 1980s. She plays a feisty, not as over-the-top character, but enough to which you like her, Claire, whatever her name is. But yeah, you hear just to be like, all the meanwhile, they're trying to capture him. We even get some Keystone Keystone Capers, you know, the cops that were inept and fumble and stuff like that from the early 1900s. Like, they fail to catch them. There's like 10 of them. They can't even capture them. I'm just like, this is just like, wow. But, you know, obviously our two leads, you know, they're in love and everything else shows them engaging, if you will. Fornicating. Um, all the meanwhile, she's trying to help him get used to more of his artistic side and develop and everything. And I like that. It's like, yeah, there is more, yeah, it's some of the male fantasy or male fulfillment, which it's fine, I guess. But, you know, it's like, it's not that, it's honestly not that bad. It's PG. It's very, very minimal. She has her own agency of trying to help him and also trying to get rid of everything from the past. Yes, she becomes the damsel in distress, which is like, well, you gotta have it, I guess. But at the end, you know, when she's about to go inside like a mannequin chipper, you know, a wood chipper, but a mannequin chipper instead, which I can't believe I just said, you know, he goes in and rescues her. I'm like, well, it's to be expected. All at the same time, it's like, you know, the serious security guard and Spader just put in a they put in a good, devilishly good performance. Ultimate, and even the ex-girlfriend just say, yeah, whatever, and they all just leave or whatever. And then like I said, the two bumbling fools, they managed to get arrested for trespassing and treason or whatever it was. And you know what? I felt like that felt to be good. So in the end, you know, it's like they get married in the window front where all the mannequins and designs were. So I'm like, interesting. So, you know, happily ever after. There's also a person, one of the first, I guess you could say, positively like gay characters that helped the hero, but wasn't like typecasted or anything. I like it. I forgot who played him, but it was done in such a way it just feels more natural, I guess you could say. I'm just like, I liked what I saw, you know. What some people may not like is, you know, it's such a stupidly absurd premise. I mean, as I'm just watching it, I'm like, yeah, the critics did not like this. Roger Ebert gave this a half star. You know, apparently it did good in the box office. So, you know, obviously it's like, it struck a chord with the critics. What would I change about it? Maybe show more of the artistic side of like the colors clashing, or maybe a little bit more of like the lustrous side and more of their corporate intertwinings, if you will. Just get an idea of that you really don't like them even more, just to show a little bit more of the being a square by their sensibilities, I guess is what I'm trying to say. But, you know, it's like at 88 minutes, it feels about right. And yeah, you know, with all that being said and everything else stated, you know, I definitely say get your motorcycles revved and watch Mannequin. And yeah, whoops, and also, this is one of the few movies involving mannequins. You know, there's a tourist trap that I reviewed with Chuck Connors. This one, I think, you know, struck a chord better with more people because it wasn't horror, it's a comedy. So yeah, Mannequin, give this one a watch.